They want to control his thinking, but Dave Chappelle isn't blinking. The comedian sticks to his guns, defending free speech, comedy, and fun. In a new video, he's addressing the protests over his new stand-up special and his comments about the transgender community. That's after Netflix employees staged a walkout last week, which was attended by tens of people. I've seen more people in Hemmer's hot tub, plus a few animals. I wonder, it's been said in the press that he was invited to speak to the transgender employees of Netflix, and he refused.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refused. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we are speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
He's not wrong. If he walks into that place today, they treat him like an active shooter. Chappelle also revealed that his documentary about his 2020 summer comedy tour has been expelled from film festivals.
This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted. And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals. And now, today, not a film company, not a movie studio, not a film festival, nobody will touch this film. Thank God for Ted Sarandos at Netflix. He's the only one that didn't cancel me yet.
Then he went on to speak directly to the trans community. I wonder if he said if you want to meet with them, he's more than willing to, but has some conditions.
And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
That's funny because it's true. Gadsby was among those who denounced Chappelle's special and blasted Netflix CEO over his response to all of it. I'm told she's also got a few Netflix specials, though they're the only specials with a trigger warning that reads, "will not induce laughter." Joe, was that fair? She's not unfunny, or is she?
Oh, well, so far we've heard from people who can't take a joke. Now we've heard from someone who can't tell one. She's pretty bad. Yeah, you know, when her special came out, they actually tried to say, oh, no, this is a different kind of comedy.
Yes.
And I had all these messages people were sending me saying, comedy doesn't have to get laughs. Comedy doesn't have to be entertaining. And, yeah, and finally I had to block Joe Mackey. I couldn't take it anymore.
By the way, well, never mind. I was going to make a very disgusting joke, but I'm
Can I just say one more thing about this Netflix protest, that I knew it was going to be... There were so few people there, they weren't even worried about COVID rules.
Yes.
There was like a dozen people, and you can tell because the cameras are from this close. If we're any closer, those cameras would be performing a colonoscopy. So don't fall for what they're saying. This is not, they don't represent a large group of any people, let alone this community they're talking about.
Yeah, that is so true. Whenever you see any kind of news story where the camera is close up for a group, that tells you there's no group. Tyrus, is this all part of a brilliant rollout of his special? He actually turned his adversaries into publicists. I mean, so many people now know more about this than anybody.
You know, I would think maybe, but Chappelle is one of those brothers who's not driven by money and fame. He walked away from $50 million, so I can't see him putting himself through this, his family through this, just to get to watch, because they're going to show up to watch. What I think needs to happen, though, is some of us have to come forward. I think it's time I came forward. I wrote the jokes. I'm sorry. It was me. I can't let Chappelle take all the heat anymore. I did it. So come get me. You know, they go after him so hard, and they push so hard that he was this, you know, he was transphobic and he was attacking people, and they tried to compare it to other things. And I, for one, was like, well, when do I get my turn to complain about Dave Chappelle? All the light-skinned brother jokes he's made over the years, always talking about how handsome we are, how we get the jobs and the girls. Like, it's unbelievably upsetting. So maybe we should go. You know how many times he said the N-word on TV? Why are we not getting him? Oh, because he's black, he gets a pass? No, sir. So let's just give me my platform so we can go after him. And another thing which is really great, and I wish, you know, when you talk about a group being, or a group coming after you as the people who are saying that, you know, it's causing hate, one of the things that I always enjoyed about when they had Klan meetings, at the end of every Klan meeting, after they talked about getting rid of all the darkies from the neighborhood, usually it was Mordecai would come up at the end to discuss the scholarship funds that they set up for all the minority children so they can get a good education afterwards. Because that's literally what Dave Chappelle did to the gentleman, or to the woman, sorry, that passed away. He got a scholarship for her children.
Right.
But that's normally what you do when you want to hate a group, is you pay for their kids to go to college.
Yeah, that's what he did. If you watch the special, that's what he ends up doing. Matt, what do you make of this?
I don't know. I just feel like the only good thing about Chinese corona and a pandemic is that a lot of us watched a lot of television. And all these controversies came out about what's on and what's not on. And you know what the best TV show of all was, or whatever, for those of you who have kids? We got to listen to what was going on in their school, in the classrooms.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's why this firestorm's going on in Virginia. And I say to Dave Chappelle and to you, it's nice to have comedy that's funny.
Yeah.
I think if the country could laugh a little bit, maybe we could all get in a little better mood.
And it's good that you have somebody uncancelable, Kat, like him. He's got the money. He's got, like, what he's doing is what Jerry Seinfeld should have done. Other people who are worth $500 million, but he's actually doing it to protect people who could be canceled or doesn't have the money or the will.
Yeah, I can't imagine having money and never saying like, why? I just.
But you just said it twice, and you don't have.
I don't have that much money.
Must have FU money if you're going to drop the FU.
But they do, and they don't anyway. And it's also people. I saw some columns about this, and he's saying he only wants to meet with certain trans people. I'm like, oh, you mean he's treating trans people like individuals? Like, isn't that what he said the same thing in his special? Like, I would have trans friends if. They're funny people. That we do that all the time with each other. You're supposed to treat other people as individuals, like regardless of gender, race. Isn't that, sexual? Isn't that what we are supposed to be doing?
This is going to be the topic of our next block, about the idea that it's not about the identity block. It's about who are the jerks versus the non-jerks. That's how we should be segregating. We should be segregating the jerks from the jerks, right?
I like it.
All right. Up next. He couldn't say anything nice about Condoleezza Rice.